Hello there everyone and welcome to the second part of Talk Time Florida Special 2017 highlights thing. I don't know how I'm going to upload these. I don't know if I'm even going to upload these. Are you even listening? I don't know. Last episode we discussed a lot on Florida, a lot on SeaWorld even, sorry about that, and all sorts. I did the first week out of the 3 weeks. I don't know if this is going to cover 2 weeks or just the one middle week. But we will see. I know I talk too fast and I have no idea how long these episodes are. I'm going to assume they're about 5 minutes long, maybe 10. Depends on how fast I talk or how long I talk. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit so you can actually catch up with what I'm saying. Anyway, the first day of the second week, we actually went to Disney. Beautiful park, the first one. And lovely castle, huge place. I always forget how big Disney is because we have the Paris one over here in the UK. It's the nearest one over in Paris, and it's much smaller than this. This one here is huge. I met a duck. That's quite cool. But that was really the highlight of the Disney part for that day. We went on rides. I didn't really record much. Didn't take pictures. I'm trying to think of what we did. I mean, we just walk around and go on whatever rides we come across. I know the Dwarf Mine Train is there. I don't think I actually went on the first day. We did actually end up going on that, as well as staying late and watching the fireworks, which are beautiful. But I think we did that on the last time we were there, so we can enjoy it a bit more. I say a goodbye to Florida. But after that, we actually headed up to Busch Gardens, which is a bit further away than the rest of the parks. It's another outcrop, I guess, of SeaWorld, but it's its own little thing that also does rescue and rehabilitation for native species as well. But it's more of a zoo. It's quite good. The rides as well. If you live in the UK, I could only describe it as a massive Chessington Worlds of Adventure, but with more animals orientated around it. Got to feed a kangaroo, pretty cool. Saw an orangutan chilling, not really paying attention to us as well, and all sorts. They had a squirrel in the bin, like I mentioned in the last episode. Always end up with squirrels everywhere. Cheetahs and a hippo. Beautiful hippo. I remember going there last time and seeing the same hippo. Very cool animal. And then next to that, while everyone was looking at the hippo and they were doing a talk on the hippo, I was just sitting next to this massive Nile crocodile. It was amazing looking. It was absolutely beautiful. Huge thing. Just sitting there in the water. I just sat down and just watched this huge crocodile for a while. Amazing. One of the highlights, really. I do like my crocodilians, obviously. And that was pretty cool. However, they had other animals there. I wanted to see more reptiles than they had. They didn't have a lot of reptiles, but they had alright stuff. They had normal stuff like lions and gorillas, things like that. But they also had Aldabra tortoises, as well as other small reptile things. There was a bit where you walk around and they got sloths and tortoises, flamingos, and some other animals as well. They had some beautiful crocodile lizard, alligator lizard, can't remember what it's called. But I know they're quite difficult to get as pets. And they're just beautiful. So that was quite nice to see as well. I mean, the sloths were very cool. I do like a good sloth. And actually, on one of the SeaWorld days, I can't remember which one, we actually managed to stroke a sloth. Someone came out with a sloth and was like, hey, look at us, we've got a sloth, sort of thing. And people came around and took pictures and things, and they were like, do you want to stroke it? And we're like, yeah. And we took turns stroking the sloths, but it's very cool. Very exciting. Okay, so the next day, I believe we went to Epcot. Now, if you don't know what Epcot is, Epcot's sort of the, like, unfinished park of Disney. It's the one with the big ball, if you don't know. Might have seen pictures of it. But originally, Walt Disney was designing this thing where people would actually live there, and they would test all these new experiments, like all new machines and gadgets and sort of household appliances to create this future town. But he actually died halfway through designing it, and instead of doing that, they just decided to turn it into another park based on human progression and society and the future in a way. There's some cool things. They've got the ride where you're in a big sky thing. They updated it actually, because I remember going before and the screen was awful. But now it's sort of like you sit in a big seat and you fly across, a big screen, and it shows you, or you're flying across a mountain and things. And I know the guy who does the voiceover and everything is the same guy who voices Kronk from Emperor's New Groove, as well as Joe from Family Guy. That's quite cool. They got a Nemo area there. Nemo ride, not that good, I gotta say. It's sort of like you just sit in a seat and there's some fish in the background. But after that, there's an aquarium. They got a beautiful sea turtle and some other aquarium life. Beautiful tanks, nice coral tanks. I did enjoy that, and loads of breeding tropical fish. Sorry, not tropical, marine fish, which was really nice to see as well. And they had a manatee there that you can see in the tank, because at SeaWorld you mainly see them on the top, but you can go under and see some of them swimming around. But here it was like a proper just tank where you can go and see them in the tank swimming around. It's much deeper. Very interesting. The next day we decided to go to Animal Kingdom. Now, Animal Kingdom is another Disney park. It's their version of Busch Gardens, I would say. It's a mixture of rides and a zoo. However, this is just massive, and I feel like they've gone more rides than zoo. And it was very weird because you would have like queue rides and like nooks and cranny of this sort of theme park, and there will be enclosures there. Like I know the dinosaur ride, the one with Aladar from Disney's Dinosaur. Around the corner to all the dinosaur thing, there was just a beautiful American crocodile in this enclosure, and I would easily have missed that if I didn't know exactly where it was. I mean, it's very cool. They had the Avatar thing there, that was new. We didn't end up going on the Avatar flight ride, because it was about a 3 or 4 hour queue again. It's where you put goggles on, I believe, and it feels like you're flying a Banshee. But we did go on the other one, which is more of a boat ride, and I could only describe it as the Small World ride, but with better animatronics, but shorter and a bit dull, I gotta say. It's the sort of ride that they put in because they know that the other one would be quite popular, and they want to sort of even out the queue times between both rides. I would still go on it because it's got some nice animatronics and it looks very good, because you're weaving through this dark forest at night. But I was waiting for something else to happen, because it starts off, you're on a boat ride, sort of like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and then you're there thinking, okay, round the corner, oh, here we come, probably a drop or something gonna happen, and a carnivorous alien creature comes out, and it's a bit spooky or something like that, or a fight or something. But instead of that, you just go around the corner and it's the exit to the ride, which wasn't the best, but it was interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was an alright thing. They had the safari ride. I'm not sure what it's called, exactly what it's called, but it's still a very nice ride. It's just where you go around on a safari and see all these animals, and they talk about them and stuff. They had Nile crocodiles there as well as giraffes, and I think they had an okapi as well dotted around. I'm not too sure. They might not have done. I'm trying to think. I don't think. Yeah, they might have done actually. So the next day was kind of like a chill day. We actually stayed by the pool this day and didn't do anything, I do believe. We just stayed by the pool. and the hotel we were staying at has this beautiful pond in the middle of it. It's like sort of this pond surrounded by all the hotel blocks that it has, and we had a room overlooking and a balcony overlooking this pond. And you would go down to the pool or look down at this pond, and there's just massive soft-shell turtles sitting there. Just these beautiful, giant Florida soft shells. I love the species, and I want to get some Chinese soft shells at home, because these are just beautiful animals, and the giant ones are just really cool to see. One of my highlights of Florida would be those soft shell turtles. They're very cool. But we didn't do much that day. We just sat around the pool and then went out to eat, I think. The next day we went to Hollywood Studios, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and on the way there, speaking of softshell turtles, there was one crossing the road, in the middle of the road, this huge female, absolutely amazing. I said, slam your brakes on, sort of thing. There was a softshell turtle in the road. Don't worry, there wasn't anyone behind us at that point, but there were people coming eventually. This was right at sort of like a zebra crossing area anyway. I bolted out of the car, grabbed this softshell turtle, and ran it to one side to find one of those ponds, because there's loads of different ponds dotted around the place, which is probably where it was going to anyway. And as I was doing this, I heard people behind me, us tooting, like saying get out the road sort of thing. They clearly see this giant softshell turtle in my hands where I stopped to get this softshell, and I don't really know what they expected me to do. Like, is there like a law stopping you from getting out and helping a turtle in there? And I don't know, but they clearly just wanted me to either run it over or just hope for the best. I don't know, but I got someone to pull my the car around and get out of the way so they can go off in a huff, I guess. But I went down, put it by the water. Didn't go all the way to the water. I put it to like a good feet away, so the turtle can, one, run into the water, and two, we're in Florida. Maybe there's an alligator. I don't know, but I don't want to get jumped by an alligator coming out of the water. Very unlikely. I mean, alligators don't attack people normally, but this was sort of a restaurant area, so they could be sort of feeding the wildlife sort of situation there. So I need to be careful of that. Anyway, we actually managed to get to Hollywood Studios. Very cool area. They had this Star Wars thing. They had the one with the Silver Honor, and they marched through with the Stormtroopers and did this show, which was cool. There was also the Indiana Jones show I've seen before. That was really cool. And that was the day of the solar eclipse. I know in the UK you probably didn't see it, but in America it was very obvious. I'm not sure if it was a full eclipse, but it was one of those ones which was pretty good. And everyone was told on the news and everything, don't look at the sun, don't look at it, you'll go blind and all this. But you always see all the blooming tourists staring up at the sky. I just used my phone, I didn't look at it, I just took pictures of it and it worked. You might be able to see it if I put the picture up, but it's very cool. Very cool thing to see. But yeah, it went dark, and there you go, an eclipse. Never seen one before, but now I have. Next day I went to Disney, and this was one of the days that we decided to spend the late night and see the fireworks, because if you don't know, Disney fireworks are arguably one of the best in the world, and they bloom well better be for how much money they spend on them. I mean, they must spend at least like $5,000 a night. I mean, there's so many fireworks, and they got all this thing, and then they had the Tinkerbell person zip line down from the top of the castle, and loads of music, and it was just beautiful, wonderful time. Everyone's sort of like sweaty and gross because it's in Florida, and it's been out all day and it's boiling hot, but it's all worth it. Everyone's like packed in trying to get out. Well, we went to the mine train ride, or sorry, not the mine train, the Seven Dwarfs ride, which was kind of new, and we actually managed to get on that one. That was alright. And we also went on the Winnie the Pooh one, which was quite nice. I did like that. And then to get to and from the car park and the resort, the theme park even, you actually had to get a monorail. That was hell getting back. You know, I got sweat in my eyes. I'm all greasy. Everyone's greasy and sweaty and boiling hot. Everyone's clammy. It's just horrible, and everyone's closed in together in this queue. That's like from the park entrance all the way up to the station where the two monorails keep coming and going to the car park. I don't know who thought that idea, but you know, the monorail was insanely crowded. It was insane, and it wasn't like a direct route. It stopped at some of the hotels as well on the way. So it was just insane. Like, it was just nuts how busy that was. I could not believe it. We finally got back, and I think we went to bed. The next day, we decided to go to NASA, the Kennedy Space Center. That was really interesting. I did enjoy that. Saw some more wild alligators. You get there, and there's a sort of area which is quite nice, and then you have to get on a coach to go to the actual facility where all the big rockets are and everything. So we did that, and the tour guide gives us a talk about all these different things, the big building and all the rockets and everything. And then you see some alligators sitting in the pool, and then you get there, there's massive rockets and all sorts of things, different meteor rocks and space suits. You got the big Atlas, I think it's called. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a space shuttle that they put there. I've just been up in space and everything. Big opening to that, and some other rockets and things. It's just a really nice day, and all through the day, they were testing sonic booms with F-16s or F-18s or something. So every now and again, you just hear this massive boom noise, which was just rather scary because all the feet, everything shook, like the ground, the windows, like almost shattering sort of shake. It was scary, and it just kept going on because they were testing some form of sonic booms and stuff. So that was quite cool. The next day, we actually decided to go back to Animal Kingdom, where we saw some cool things. There was a giant catfish and Paku, things like that. You know, nothing else that we didn't do. We just did the rides again. The dinosaur ride. That's quite a good ride. If you don't know what that is, it's basically you're on a vehicle and you're like driving around. There's big animatronic dinosaurs, and like, you know, it's a meteor shower, and you're like trying to get away and almost, you know, getting attacked by a Carnotaur, things like that. I think I went into multiple days. There's been multiple break days throughout the 3 weeks. You know, we took days off, took breaks, just sat by the pool and relaxed, because it is a holiday after all. We don't want to get up every day at like 8 or 9 o'clock and then get back at like 12 or 1 every day on a 3-week holiday. So we did take breaks, and then on the final day we went back to Disney, get some things done, get everything finished, say goodbye to everything, and just enjoy ourselves for the final day. We did actually go to what's it called, Aquatica. Everyone else in my family went to the second Universal again because they wanted to go and visit Universal and do a lot of things there that we missed, but I didn't really care for that, and instead we went to Aquatica, which is the SeaWorld water park, where you just rest by a pool all day. That was quite relaxing. We just sat by a pool, and we had our own little private thing where we just sat and on the sand, which was quite nice, just relaxing. Beautiful little Australian dolphins they have there. Beautiful black and white things. Very cool. The floor there, because it was so hot, the sun was constantly on the floor, and you walk around barefoot because you're swimming and things. It was baking hot. Like, you wouldn't be able to queue for slides and water slides because the ground was that hot. It was like walking on an oven. It was horrible. And we would have to like jump to puddles and things so our feet didn't burn. Very cool, very interesting. But the final day at Disney, anyway, the final day, we went We did just watched everything, enjoyed ourselves. I met with Mickey Mouse. Last time I was there, it was sort of just, a costume thing, but now it's someone in a costume, but they've changed the masks so their mouths move when they talk. Pretty cool, pretty scary at the same time. I have to admit, it was kind of terrifying. But what can you do? Yeah, but we bought loads of stuff. We went down to Downtown Disney. That's changed. It's become it's called something else now, and they built like more stuff there. It's so different. I kind of preferred it when it was older, different. We stopped off at the T-Rex thing that is by the Rainforest Cafe people. I picked up some dinosaur figures and stuff. And yeah, we decided to head home. Yeah, plane ride back, pretty smooth. Got back in the UK. It was raining, I think. Or it might have been sunny, actually, which was quite nice. We got back on a British Airways flight. And yeah, that was it, really. I mean, 3 weeks fly by so fast. I mean, I was just talking now. I'm pretty sure I missed like a week somehow. I mean, a lot of the days are just going back and doing the same things. Like we went to, we stayed at the hotel quite a lot. We went shopping quite a lot, and all sorts. We did loads of, buying loads of Disney products or presents and things for people. And it was kind of cool. It was very cool. It was a big highlight of the year. I mean, the favourite thing of the year. And I've got loads of memories now. Really, really cool. So that's really it. Thanks for watching. I know this must have been a bit weird, and I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these. But if I do, stay tuned, and I might do. It's a bit different. I might upload these not on the same week, so you only have 2 of these things, just in case you don't like them. But yeah, and it's nice to just get this all down, so I have a bit more referencing to do when I need to remember what I did on that day. I can just find these videos. But if you're thinking of should you go to Florida, or should you go to like Greece or something, or a different holiday, I would recommend Florida over any holiday. Even going on a safari in Africa, I would pick Florida, because just the people there are just nice. The wildlife and the atmosphere and just everything about where you are is just amazing, and it just looks just absolutely beautiful with all the swamps and Disney areas as well. And it's just amazing. It's beautiful. Like if you think what temperature it is and what it feels like in Florida, and you haven't been to Florida, you need to go to Florida and feel it for yourself, because it just gets so weirdly humid. But it's the sort of thing that at the time you think, oh, it's really humid, and then over time you get used to it, and then when you come back home to a cold, damp country like the UK, you kind of miss it a lot. And I do. I miss Florida quite a bit, and I hope to return someday just to enjoy it again, because it's just an amazing place. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in another video.